video. Center, zoom in and center.
That looks pretty good. I can work with that.
All right.
Video's clear.
Great. I'll give you that back.
Okay. Yeah, just go ahead and stow the shilling and get that last swing arm out, and we'll be ready to go.
Got it.
Watch leads, this is Pilot.
Hi, Pilot.
Hi, we're just finishing up our first white balance of the cruise. We're getting our lighting adjusted, but we're going to be ready to zoom in on these creatures in just a minute.
Excellent. Let us know when you're ready. Right there. Yeah. In a few. Yep.
So we've got quite a bit of current moving about west to east, almost exactly.
Okay. In the essence of time, we have a limited to bottom time. I think we want to move across or along the track that you feel most comfortable with.
Sure.
And opportunistically zoom on things that will give you plenty of time ahead notice for.
Sure. I think yeah, we'll find a nice heading that's comfortable for us, and we will put in a ship move and keep moving in that direction unless you stop and ask for us to zoom on something that you see. All right, Sean.
Yeah.
Why don't you go ahead and turn your head
couple
to
big
port a little
snappers.
bit.
Go on port. And then Dan, the only thing I have to double check is your starboard lower. So when you turn, I can see.
I gotcha. I gotcha. Okay.
But it is outboard and slightly out. Alright, I rotated about 290.
Copy that.
And Pilot, this is Watch Lead.
Go ahead, Watch Lead.
We want to, since this dive is fish focused or fish prioritized, if you see a fish and you see the ability to zoom on it, and if, faster than we can,
sure.
I think we'd like to get zooms on the fishes first, and then we'll follow with the sponges and corals.
Go ahead and zoom, Roland. We will try to get you some nice shots of the fish that's swum by. That'll be our priority.
I'm not a fish person. So
oh, there's
this
our
is
aft cam.
Snapper.
All right.
Did you just cycle power?
No.
Okay, let's let him go, Roland. Good.
No.
And feel free to zoom past the skids at any time, Roland.
To cycle it again. Copy. I'll cycle starboard camera.
I'm going to turn my head and we'll take a look at that lower swing arm, Sean.
Copy.
Yeah, you can see it's not...
So, in addition to the fishes we've been seeing pretty regularly now,
that's pretty good.
Good.
Noticing a few other objects on the seafloor, biology. There's a few cup corals here and there. They look like small white stalks, maybe a couple centimeters high.
Get lasers on.
Crinoid, stalked crinoid over to the right-hand side.
Any interest in looking at any of these, Watch Lead?
Maybe snap zoom on.
Sure. You can go ahead and zoom, Roland.
So they're just
Monitor 9
Steve,
seems to be
this is Kevin.
malfunctioning.
Yes, hi, we hear you.
I'm unable to get into the chat room, so if I see anything, I may pop on if I'm able to identify anything. I'm pretty sure there's snapper or Lujanus sinegris, deepwater phase, lane snappers.
Excellent.
Thanks.
hydraulics are off.
Is this enough for you, watch lead, or would you like to sit down and zoom in more?
That's good for, I think now we got lasers on it. Yep.
Okay, let's go ahead and zoom out, Roland.
These kinds of crinoids are fairly common in this area. I'm sure we'll see many, many more of them.
Well, we saw a lot of fish when we were first approaching the bottom, but it looks like maybe we have scared them all away. But we will keep an eye out. So, let's see. Wire looks fine. This is a pretty comfortable heading for me.
Copy. Do you want me to?
Yeah, why don't I come over a bit closer to you and you can turn your head to port.
Copy that.
And we'll line up on about 240. Does that work for you, Nav? Copy that.
Copy. Or get eyes on wire.
That's fine. I don't think we're in a rush.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, let's do it. Let me know if you see any
Nav
fish,
Bridge, go
Sean.
ahead.
You ready for a
Copy.
ship move up there?
Roger that.
Lined up. 240.
All right, let's get a 20 meter move.
So the
240.
substrate here seems pretty soft. I'm noticing some finer features that are probably biological.
You can zoom past the box on the right, Roland.
Some
Thanks.
One more time
We
on
have some demo sponges.
Colors
to
look
our
nice.
Right, it looks.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
Yellow.
when we get a chance to play with lights, there's a flare on the upper right.
Good copy.
You got it.
Yeah, Sean can help you with that.
I'll fiddle with it.
Okay, watch leads. We have a ship move underway in the direction that we are currently facing.
Mhm.
So if you see anything ahead that you'd like to look at, just let us know.
Thanks, pilot.
Nav bridge, move initiated.
So I've been seeing some wiry looking, spirally.
Can you gain down on sonar, Nav?
Can you say that again, video? I didn't copy the last. No.
There's a crinoid or a
Looks like
walking thing
another
at the bottom of the screen.
crinoid down there. the
Would you
deeper.
like a closer look at that watch lead?
Yes, please, pilot.
Sure. All right, rolling. Go ahead and zoom in. And hold that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those are those. So yeah, we have a crinoid in the center of the screen, and just below the lasers also there's another type of coral. Yeah, just coming into view now. Most likely a black coral.
Any interest for a closer look, or is this enough for your purposes?
I think we can, yeah, if you have time, we can grab a closer look. They seem
Okay.
to be fairly abundant, although they're hard to see because they kind of blend in with the background.
Sure.
Just so we can
Let's
have
come out a little bit, Roland.
some documentation of that species.
The ship is underway, but we only put in 20 meters,
see
Sean.
something
So
over here.
Oh, there's another coral.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Roland.
All right, we'll get rid of lasers.
Sure.
So we're getting our first view, close-up view of the seafloor and of this black coral, possibly in the
Go in
genus
tighter, if you got it.
Stichopathes.
Maxim.
Copy that, Roland.
And the black corals are known not for their color of their tissue, but rather for their skeleton, which you can see pretty easily right now up in those coils and along the base.
Going for full screen.
Go ahead.
There's at least two individuals, two
Different.
colonies here. And some other smaller structures on the seafloor that might be bryozoans or...
And come out a little more, Roland.
There's a talking about that branch thing to the right.
Branch thing to the right.
It's kind of in the middle of that, yeah. It could be a sponge or... Oh, no, it's also a coral. Yeah. Possibly a different kind of...
It looks like it's two species.
there's a couple of things on that
yeah.
stalk, yeah. So maybe...
A coral attached to a... Is that a black coral?
I think one of them is a black coral, but
Quite a bit of current here.
the other one looks like... No, it doesn't look like a coral.
You have the fog
Hydroid,
lights.
maybe?
Maybe a hydroid or a
Yeah, you
bryozoan.
can turn those on, Sean.
Copy that. Fog lights
So-
coming on in 3, 2, 1.
Okay. Well, obviously there's a lot of stuff here that's super tiny.
Blend in with the background.
Yeah.
It's still blending.
Yeah, okay. We'll go ahead and turn them off.
Video's clear.
Okay, let's come out.
Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Yep.
While you're here, just to the upper left, there was another fan-shaped structure that's kind of the same color as the background, now coming into the middle of the screen.
Okay, lasers on, please.
Yeah.
How much is left in that move? We're probably about
Look
done,
quite
right?
different than what we just looked at.
Okay, go ahead and zoom in partially. Is this what you're referring to?
That's it, yeah. Can we get a better view of that?
Sure. Let's hold on, Roland. Let's come back up. There's a lot of current, so I gotta sit down to get stable.
Fair enough.
Okay, go in, Roland.
So this looks like an octocoral for sure. A very finely branched, highly branched octocoral, probably in the genus Chrysogorgia.
9, 0.
Although I'm not,
Yeah, let's come out a bit, Roland. Sorry.
can't get a good
Hold on,
view of
I'm
that.
gonna get more stable here.
Here's
Oh, yeah, that's another
there's a
possible
black coral.
black coral over there as well.
Look at that thing at the bottom of the screen. It looks like a coral, but their
And
arms
a
are
characteristic that you
coily
can
like
distinguish
a
between
Brittle star.
corals and octocorals is octocorals, their polyps have 8 tentacles. So if you have a chance to zoom in again,
Okay, go ahead, Roland.
possibly see the tentacles.
Yeah. So the other possible candidate ID for this coral, if it had a type of node structure, would be a bamboo coral, but I
Slightly
don't
down
see
is a
that
crab
here.
inside.
It has numerous,
It's a shrimp.
well, at least one shrimp and one
It looks like a squatting lobster.
squat lobster in there.
That's about me looking all the way back.
Okay.
And, yep, it
Right.
looks like,
And there's a
think we're
brittle
okay,
star
right?
right to the right of it.
It's probably
It's also
shipment's probably
white.
stopped and
Yep.
Yeah, I don't.
Oh,
pretty
no,
flat here.
right there.
Sorry,
Oh,
watch lead.
below.
Can you repeat what you were looking for?
so we were just getting some
Nav bridge,
good images of
sorry
it, but
about
I
that,
think
that move
we're
did get
satisfied
completed.
here. So we'll
Can we
we'll
tilt
book
a
that
little
as
down?
a
There's some
possible
arms.
Chrysogorgia octocoral.
Let's go ahead and come out, Roland. And was there something else here, watch lead?
To the left, if you could
Okay,
pan
let's come
left a
full
little
wide.
bit.
See
And get the lasers
There
on.
was a small
anybody see
structure as
those
well.
arms in the bottom right?
There was a stick right
Yeah.
where the lasers are now.
Okay. Is it the middle one here?
Yeah, wire's good.
Yeah. Maybe just a quick zoom on that.
Sure. Okay, quick zoom.
Yeah, that looks like it is another black coral.
Let's come out a bit, Roland.
Not quite clear if it's the same as the spiral-looking Stichopathes coral we observed just a few minutes ago.
So right now, the temperature is
go ahead and zoom in.
17.4 Celsius, salinity 36.4 PSU. The depth, we are presently at 282 meters. Oxygen 3.75.
Thanks, pilot. That looks good when you're ready.
Okay. We're ready to come out when you're
Video's
ready,
clear.
Roland. Okay, let's go ahead and zoom out.
Try and make some way now. I think we've
Sure.
settled in this area a little bit too long and should move.
Great. We've already moved the ship ahead, so we can just push forward with D2. Cover some ground. There's a stock over there on the left. Everything look good, Sean?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're clear. Everything looks good in the GUIs.
Possible small fish slightly to the left of that stock, going from left to right, even with lasers.
He's just talking to Carl right now, video. He might not have heard you. I can poke him when he gets back there. Yeah, video for the glare. So what I did, I finally brought the starboard lower almost inboard. We're almost stowed. But I think that helped reduce it some.
Yeah, it definitely did.
But it's not, you can kind of see how the port side's out, but that one's almost all the way stowed.
Yeah, I
So-
concur, but that's good.
Okay,
The main camera forward looks good.
okay.
So in the meanwhile, they're doing a quick pilot change out here.
Okay, we're going to push the ROV ahead and see what we see.
Excellent.
Nav, how's it going? Sounds good. So I believe the ship is stopped, and I've got some distance to go here. Yeah, just keep an eye on the surface currents. I hear we're headed into it, which is nice now, but if they switch around, surface or bottom. Want to be ready.
Pilot.
Co-pilot.
Are we on the move or are we stationary?
You're stationary. I'm just catching up.
All right.
Looks like a black coral in front of us.
I'm not sure what that is there. If you have a second pilot, a snap zoom on that little pit.
Sure. Snap zoom here, video. Try to hold it steady. I'm still moving.
With a couple brittle stars.
Yep, we got a few things going on here. We've got a cup coral to the left, a black coral to the right, and some other corals attached to the rock. I'm not sure if they're the same as the cup coral. But the black coral is what we're zooming in right now. Yep, and there's what is that?
That's a little baby, it looks like baby sea star.
Yeah. So there's got probably,
there's a fish. This,
Come out to the
I believe,
fish
is
video.
a silk snapper.
Yep. There's that beauty shot.
Wow.
Lasers are clear.
Okay, lasers off, co-pilot.
So this is another really important fishery in Puerto Rico and the USVIs, the silk snappers
See,
and
hydraulics are
the
still
ocean
on.
snappers.
Oh yeah, you can take them down.
Do you want me to make sure that
And a lot is not known about their
controls
habitat.
always stowed?
Yeah,
and
get
what
your
they feed on.
pins
So
ready for samples and all.
Yeah. There it goes.
It's facing into the current, so
Oh,
am
wow.
I.
Huh.
So
Pretty
we're getting
calm.
the back shot. Try to sidle around.
I see another coral in that mix too, but it's really scraggly looking and small. So I see, just narrating
I'm
for
gonna come
folks
back
at
down to it,
home,
yeah.
there's another
HQ secure.
Chrysogorgia coral to the left of that fish, and
Copy that, co-pilot.
another twiggy looking octocoral possibly near its tail. But I think we've seen at least one of those. And
Okay, watch lead, you happy with this fish?
yes, thank you. Thank you,
All right.
pilot.
good
Come
identification.
back out video.
Full wide.
Copy that. All right, moving on.
Mhm.
Any interest in this? It looks like maybe a
Sponge,
sponge.
yeah.
Yeah, it looks like a demo sponge.
Quick
Okay,
zoom.
Quick zoom here, video.
It looks like it could be Arsenia.
Coming back to it.
Genera.
Okay.
Saves me from having to guess because I wouldn't be able to give you anything close to that.
Yeah, it's definitely a demo sponge.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go wide video. If we want stable shots for anything, I'll have to set down this current. Okay. How about a ship move, Nev? Well, we're just kind of moving along the ridge here.
240 maybe.
In the up. Just, I guess, up current. Serious heading, yeah. Let's do, yeah. Sure.
So one of the things where we're going to be looking at this particular dive is
Yeah, 'cause
how
we can
these
do
fish
quick
are
ones if we
using
want.
this seafloor habitat, and it looks
Is that a crab
pretty
shell sitting?
nondescript. However, there are some really interesting kind of pothole-like formations or depressions into the sediment where
Ridge nav.
there might be some rocky ledges or outcroppings.
You mean
So it
this?
looks like a snail there.
Nav bridge, go ahead.
Some lasers, Carl.
Yeah,
Oh
laser
yeah,
song.
can we get a ship
Some
move,
of my
please?
Go right
enemies.
ahead.
30 meters,
Ask him if it's
bearing
adventurous.
240 degrees at a speed of .1, please.
Bridge copies.
All set.
30 meters, bearing 240, speed .1.
Good copy. Thank you, Bridge.
Crinoid to the top left, and I don't know if that's occupied at the moment, but at least a snail shell. Does it look like it's alive? Yes? Maybe.
Come out of tab video. Still sliding here.
Yeah, I can't see his foot.
Yeah. I would guess yeah, but can't
Move
quite
initiated.
confirm.
Okay, that seems stable video.
Looks like there's something
Axle.
fleshy at the bottom there,
Okay.
possibly.
Yeah, I believe it's alive.
Yeah.
Up, yep, you could see part of its foot.
Yep.
Right.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yep.
Full wide.
All right, thank you, video. All right, the ship is underway. We'll proceed.
So we only turn the aft light bar on when we're doing still camera operations?
Yeah.
Okay. So I thought.
Do you know why the starboard swing arm is up a bit and the port one is?
There's a flare that
Okay.
Sean was working with video on, I guess.
Okay.
Not sure if it was the craft position or something. I don't know.
Sounds
Oh,
good.
there's a fish in
Fish
that.
in the hole.
in
Left.
that.
Ah, yeah,
Hole.
I think it might
Oh,
be
yeah.
the same fish that we were videoing.
Is it?
Yeah, it's hiding. I believe that's
Three,
another
two,
silk
one.
snapper, maybe the same one or a different.
He's definitely using that depression as some sort of refuge, I guess. Oh,
Okay,
Yep,
free
there
to
you
zoom
go.
video. Lasers off, co-pilot.
so their color really does change pretty dramatically.
The substrate here is actually hard, so I was able to set down without sliding around.
This is a great shot. Thank you, pilot.
You know, I always thought that fish prefer these more complex substrates, you know, boulders and cobbles, but I guess if you have carbonate kind of substrate like this, these depressions could actually be a decent refuge for deep water fishes. Yep, chilling out.
Okay, is everyone happy with that?
I think so.
Yes. Thank you.
All right.
Oh, there's a little brittle star right to the right, also using the crevice for refuge.
Hey, Steve, this is Kevin Rademacher again.
Hello. Hi, Kevin.
Yeah, I misidentified those snapper earlier.
Oh.
They are indeed silk snapper, Lujanus bivanus.
Okay.
I do know that Lujanus sinegris, the lane snappers, do occur there around Puerto Rico, shallow, up near shore, and also down deep. They have two different color phases, a deep water color phase and a shallow water color phase. The initial shot of
Does
these
that ship move
silk
over?
snapper were
Still
far
going?
enough away, I wasn't really sure. I know a lot of the commercial fishermen call silk snapper yellow eyes because of the yellow eyes that we're seeing so well on
Oh, is that all?
these shots.
Excellent. Thanks for that information.
Great.
So it looks like silk snapper has been the dominant fish we've been coming across, although I thought I did see some grouper on the way down.
Yeah,
Did you?
when we were descending, I believe that we saw it looked like tiger grouper. They were pretty far off. But this is the depth range of silk snappers. So
We haven't fired the
we're right
Niskin
now
bottles yet.
at,
Nope.
the depth is 279 meters. Yeah, so this is in their depth range.
Watch lead pilot.
Go ahead, pilot.
Yeah, just a reminder, if you are set up to process water samples, we do have the Niskin rack with the bottles open, if that is of interest.
Noted. I'm not sure that's an objective on this dive, but we'll keep it in mind.
Copy.
Yeah.
And welcome for all of you that are now tuning in. We are presently east of Vieques Island, and we've seen a couple silk snappers and a bunch of crinoids and brittle stars.
Do you want to hear the HPU?
And some black coral and octocorals.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, everything
Can you hear
here
anything
seems pretty
Can you hear USBL?
thin and wiry. Nothing's really substantial in terms of coral or benthic coverage. Even sponges appear pretty small.
Yeah. And it could maybe be due to the current here, since it's
Does it look similar to what we had on deck,
pretty-
or not as good?
pretty strong, so they have to stay low to the benthos.
Okay.
Yeah, after this move, let's do one at 0.2. Kind of keep it moving. I mean, we're moving along. I just feel a little slow.
You see some fish in
Yeah.
the distance. It looks like there's some
Of course,
type
as I say
of
that, there's fish and
break.
outcroppings. So.
There you go.
Outcropping up ahead.
All right, video. I want to zoom on this fish just to try to get it before it swims away.
Yeah, it looks like another silk snapper.
Okay. Follow me with your camera, co-pilot.
Yeah.
I think that one's gone.
Ah, there's some maybe spadefish. Are those spadefish?
Okay, coming back to center.
Ah, here's a big grouper
Big
right
Yeah.
in front of us.
All right.
Not very friendly.
No.
Partial.
Okay,
Pilot, this is watch lead. If you can zoom in right, if it's not right in front of us, there's a grouper, but I'm not.
Copy
Yeah,
that. Yeah,
maybe
come
it's
wide video.
swimming.
I'll sneak up here.
We're full wide now.
Excellent. It does seem that we scare the groupers.
Yeah.
Oh, there is another fish right in the rubble to the center left.
Yeah, I'll get up here and then, I don't know, maybe the grouper will come back into view if it's curious.
Steve, that fish with the black bar down the middle is an Antigonia. It's a boarfish. There are two species that look very much alike, Antigonia capros and Antigonia combatia. But the one that's that dorsally elongated fish with the black bar down the middle.
Excellent.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Yep. We'll try and get some better imagery as we move around this outcropping. They're not too fast from what I remember, so we might be
Okay,
able to sneak
video.
up on them.
Free to
These
zoom.
kind of look like squirrelfish. Oh no, these are not squirrelfish.
Try to turn a bit to keep him in center. Just now they're hiding. How about that one in the background under the...
Yeah.
Do you want lasers on?
Yeah, let's start with lasers.
Go with the background one now.
Yeah, he's going to. All right, let's go wide and see what we have.
Something interesting under the rock.
Where's that?
Actually, 2 fish left.
Yeah. Okay, let's go in. Okay, turning.
Any ideas?
It looks like some type of squirrel fish, but it's not the.
Steve, this is Kevin Rademacher again. Those are Osteictes trachypoma,
Okay,
big eye
lasers off,
soldier
co-pilot.
fish. They are in the family Holocentridae with the squirrel fishes.
Ah, thank you.
Nav bridge move is coming to completion.
Big eye soldier fish.
Looks coppery. Video's clear.
Okay, pilot, I
Copy
think
that.
we're good with the fishes.
Okay. I'll just tilt down and see if there's anything interesting here while I'm set up.
And on the way out, if we could scan the top of that ledge or the crest of that ledge, I saw a bunch of encrusting things that might be of interest.
Will do. We can go wide video.
After this, maybe we'll turn back to 240, or do you want to stay going that way?
Yeah, we should stay into the current. It gets tricky otherwise.
Okay.
Light flares back.
In the upper right.
Do you want me to hunt for it, Roland? Yeah.
From my own work, I know that a lot of deepwater corals like these outcropping ledges. The currents are accelerated around these features, and sometimes you can find some pretty dramatic, dense colonies in this area. But
Video, you want to zoom on this
everything still seems rather
suspended
small.
outcrop?
Not actually sure if those are.
Those stylasters, like small.
Yeah, they could be small stylastrids. The tough thing about stylastrids is they're really hard to identify without looking at them up close. But they don't look like scleractinians, which is at least one thing we can rule out. Yeah, I would say stylastrids. Small colonies, only a couple centimeters, 2-3 centimeters in height.
Okay, video. Looks like the water's getting too blurry there.
Oh. But there is a beefier colony on the back side of this ledge.
There's a bigger colony right there in the middle of the screen.
Should I like a zoom on any of these?
The one on the right hand side actually might be a better target.
The whitish one, kind of on the back side?
Yeah.
Okay.
They are probably the same thing, but I saw the one on the right hand side first.
So center screen now?
That's correct.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay, video, free to zoom.
So this is a scleractinian, I'm fairly sure.
Could you hear that HPU, Jeff, or not? When I turn it on.
At these depths, there's really only a few things it could be.
Come out partial video.
Try and get a better image of it.
Okay, stand by. Yeah.
I know from this depth that madrasis or madrasis
let's
is
try
a
that.
very common scleractinian, and it grows on these outcroppings like this. Sometimes they can grow extremely dense colonies. It definitely has that kind of irregular, brambly branching structure, branching pattern. It's very good images, though. I think we should be able to identify it.
Video's clear.
Excellent.
Okay, thank you.
All right, go wide. All right, and I'll look over the edge here to see if there's any large fish hiding.
I got that starboard lower down a little further.
That helps with the flare.
Yeah, flares are going.
And for anyone interested at home, we're at 278 meters. And oxygen concentration is 3.7 milliliters per liter.
Oh, a little bit. Yeah, let's do that.
The temperature is 17.5
There's an eel of
degrees
some
C.
sort. Nav, do you want to move Sirius a bit closer to this outcrop?
200.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe 15 meters, 200. Unfortunately, the eel and the grouper have run away.
Oh, there was an eel? I didn't see that one.
Yeah, maybe video can clip it out. It was far away, but it kind of went under. Yes.
There are a few fishes in the background, but it seems like that's where they like to stay. Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
There's the eel.
Speed decimal 2 knots.
Bridge copies 15 meters at
Oh, couple more
200,
soldier fish.
speed decimal 2.
Good copy.
So I'm not sure much about identification of eels, but is that a moray?
And he's gone. Okay, let's go wide video. See if he comes back. Oh, okay, go back in.
Feeding on something, maybe.
I'm just waiting for a ship move to get any closer to these new fish.
Nav bridge move initiated.
It's pretty active. Usually I see them, they're just sitting in their holes, but he's moving about.
Yeah, I think this is a green moray eel.
Green moray.
Okay, video, we can go wide.
I know I've seen them down these far, the morays, but wasn't sure about species.
Yeah, they're pretty common on shallow water.
Yeah, that's quite a depth
Reefs.
range.
You can.
Steve, Kevin Rodemacher again. Yeah, that is a green moray,
Oh,
Urana funibris.
Grouper in the background?
Thank you. Up, another
Oh, no, it's not.
snapper.
It just looked big. Too excited there.
Like one of those yellow eyes.
So we're getting into a little bit of a different terrain here. It seems to be outcrops and broken carbonate,
Excellent.
Copy that.
cobblestones, and boulder.
See, I think 200 is actually good because I can just stay aimed into the current, kind of sidle along. We'll stay on this ridge. Okay, watch lead. We have a little bit of tether. There's some things in view. Anything you'd like to zoom on here?
Yeah, so a dead center in the screen right now, there's this flattened fish with a
With
bar.
stripes?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, here's a big grouper.
Okay,
Ah.
video.
Oh, wait.
Track as you can.
Yep. Sorry.
It's hiding.
They're really trying their best not to
Yeah.
get imaged.
They do not want to be photographed or videotaped.
We'll pause here for a moment, see if he comes out.
I think this is a tiger grouper. I'm not too sure, but this is a wonderful video. I
Can we
believe
get,
Michelle's on the
after
call.
this pretty shot, can we
If
get
you
lasers?
can chime in, Michelle. You're the
Go ahead,
grouper
throw
expert
lasers
here
on real
in
quick
Puerto
while he's
Rico.
there.
Yeah.
Sort of on and off.
Okay. Can you tilt your camera down too?
Yeah.
Now he's not scared.
Lasers off.
So we have the lasers on next to the, or we had the lasers on next to the fish, and it was probably at least a half a meter long, I would say.
So Michelle says this is a misty grouper.
Yeah, this Kevin again. I was just going to chime in. My video's been kind of jumpy, and I just finally got a view of it. It is a misty grouper, and the fish with the bar in it that Steve was trying to get him to zoom in on is another shot of Antigonia, one of the boar fishes, probably a deep-bodied boar fish, but they're hard to separate.
Thank you.
Go along the dorsal fin.
So I'm guessing these fishes are also a target for the fishing in this area.
Yeah, they're also known to be in deep waters. So misty groupers and queen and silk snappers are targeted in these areas.
Excellent.
All right, the ship has moved. We can move on. Okay. Yeah, I'll investigate here, maybe get a bit ahead and do it. I think I'll pretty quickly go.
What's the off bottom time, Nav?
Yeah, probably a few minutes before 4 to give the ship time to get going.
Yeah, because this shallow.
It's 50 meters at 4:15, isn't it? Okay, so off. Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, that's plenty. Always get those 15 minutes wrong. So based on my sonar and high pack, do you think 200 is still good?
I'm at 200.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'm facing about 220 and seems pretty good.
Yeah, I think flying to starboard might be good. I'll line up on 210.
Perfect.
So those ledges seem to be pretty popular spots for fishes.
And if you look at this environment, it's
All
really
right,
flat,
was it
so that
8 seconds.
makes sense since, you know, they need protection from predators.
Mm-hmm.
Is that good?
So
That's right.
you see a lot of them aggregating right along the edges.
Okay, coming back down, I'll check out this port side. Do we have a ship moving? You just... Okay. Yeah.
210 degrees.
Yeah. Have we seen this striped fish down here?
We have not.
We did in the distance, but maybe we can get a closer
Yeah,
image.
If it cooperates. We do lasers on.
We've made an ID on it, but
Got lasers.
you know, it's good to get a good image of everything.
Nav bridge, go ahead.
Another ship move,
Go
please.
right ahead.
We'll do 30 meters.
So this is the
210 degrees.
boarfish,
Speed
one of the
decimal 29.
boarfishes, Antigonia.
Okay,
Lasers.
lasers.
Copy 30 meters, bearing 210, speed
Lasers
decimal
off.
2.
Good copy.
Noticing also some brachiopods on the underside of those. Yeah, just on the edge there. These things.
How that look like bubbles?
Yeah, they look like bubbles, but they're shelled organisms.
And those small cups are sponges, right?
Sponges, yeah. Not sure what kind of sponges.
No problem.
Ah,
Okay,
here's
co-pilot, let's
Nav bridge move initiated.
do lasers back on.
Got lasers.
Starfish on the left. I don't know if it's of interest.
the black dot, is that an anemone right there in the middle of the screen? I saw a lot of those in the ROV images.
Yeah, right on the lasers right now.
Yeah, let's do a quick zoom.
Yeah.
Yeah, can we zoom that?
Oh yeah,
Oh, yep. It looks like an anemone.
could be an anemone or Corallimorpharian, possibly.
Any interest in a closer look?
I think we'll pass on that.
Okay.
We've seen a couple.
All right, well, the ship's moving.
It's very difficult to determine identifications for anemones from video or photos. So we're, if you're just tuning in, we're at a depth of about 277 meters. We have a little bit less than an hour left of bottom time on this abbreviated dive. But we'll be going as far as possible, covering as much ground as possible over the next 45 minutes to 50 minutes.
Or something.
Still examining this carbonate
We're definitely
substrate and sediment-covered substrate for usage of habitat by deepwater fishes,
Zoom on these fish
presence of corals and sponges.
And as we can see, there's a couple silk snappers. So this
Okay,
is
you
a
can go
very
wide.
popular spot for
There's a
silk
school over
snappers.
there in the background.
And you could find these silk snappers as far north as North Carolina, Bermuda, as far south as Belize. So they have a wide range, geographical range.
A lot more fishes now. Smaller though, small individuals.
Zoom on this school.
These are like smaller, big eye soldier fish.
Okay, lasers
And
off.
in the background, there's something else.
The background.
Smaller fishes with a bar on the body just behind the head, it looks like.
Go up to those fish.
That looks like a sea urchin, a
There's a
pancake
sea urchin.
urchin. Yep. Yeah, I
Okay,
think that might be
let's-
some kind of encrusting
Let's
sponge.
go wide video. I'll see where that school went. There it is.
Oh, yep.
Oh.
It's a
Oh, yeah, there's another sea urchin.
Siderid
right.
urchin. Yep.
Yep.
Type of pencil urchin.
Co-pilot, will you tilt down? Maybe pull up a couple meters.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's less about us and more about kind of getting. Yeah, yeah. Okay. All right. Video
So
see
I'd
anything
say
pretty?
of all the area we've
Nothing.
covered so far,
All right.
these outcrops tend
move
to be
on.
the most visited by fishes. Outcrops and ledges. Not a ton of corals here, but we've noticed probably the most abundant one are,
Nav bridge, in case I didn't
or
call you, that
one or
last
two
move is
are these
complete.
small stylastrid colonies, as well as these wiry-looking, spiral-looking sticopathes, black corals.
Yeah, I'll get out ahead.
Steve, Kevin Rademacher, that yellowish fish with the black bar behind the eye, behind the opercle, the few shots that we got fairly close, they looked like one of the amphiids. Not exactly sure what,
or maybe even a little bit
which
more
one,
starlight,
but
I don't know.
I believe
Yeah, I
that
think so,
may be
maybe.
the subfamily that they belong in.
Okay, thanks.
Big school upper left.
Okay.
There's a much larger school in the distance, too,
Oh, yeah.
Send-
coming along the left side
Let's
of
do
this outcropping.
There's
big
another big
fish in the
grouper
middle of it.
to the left. Yep.
There
Another
it
looks
is.
like Misty grouper.
School.
I think there's a grouper in the school.
There's schools and groupers. The groupers under the rocks
Yeah.
directly ahead of me. And wow, it's a nice looking school.
In the school. It looks like could be snappers. Wow, a lot.
Unfortunately, they're
Mixed.
Oh wow,
Mixed
look at
score
that
away.
big one. Wow. Looks like could be like a mutton snapper.
Is your feedback every once in a while? I haven't correlated it yet. I don't have one.
I hear it as well.
Let's try to wonder what channel it's coming from.
We're going to try and move closer to these if possible, but they
Yeah,
seem to be
let's-
moving away just
yeah.
Yeah.
Gonna move
as
I-
fast as we move towards
I
them.
have been moving.
220 looks good to me.
Yeah,
I'm
let's
actually
do
surprised to see so
another
many
30-meter
fish.
move. Yeah.
Usually they're frightened by the the lights.
Yeah.
Yeah, as I move slowly towards them, they move slowly away.
Keeping their distance.
But
Nobody wants to become a sample today. Oh, there's another grouper, or is that the same one?
Yep, that's another grouper that I think was under the ledge.
yeah,
Just came out.
I think he's close enough.
And what we can't actually hear, but if you go diving and you see some of these groupers, you could actually hear them underwater. They make a grunting noise, and a lot of times when you get close to them, they start grunting at you to kind of warn you to back off.
Yeah, you can turn right a bit, co-pilot.
A round thing on the very bottom right corner.
It's a sponge, maybe. Let's check it out.
Oh, maybe it's an enemy close up.
Something
Oh, yeah,
there.
yeah.
Yeah. What is that?
Ah, it looks like an enemy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there's a fireworm right there below it. Looks
Fireworm.
yeah, there's some type of
Polychaete.
Chaete?
Yeah.
looks like a fireworm. Not sure fireworms are this deep.
I don't know if I've ever seen a fireworm before. It's definitely a polychaete worm. Surprised he's just sitting out in the open there.
Can we get lasers on this scene for when we zoom out? There we go.
You got him.
Video's clear.
So that's
All
quite a
right.
big worm, 10, 12 centimeters or so.
Video's swapping out.
Thanks, Roland.
Thanks, Roland.
That fish school is taunting us in the background.
Steve, Kevin, looking at that fireworm now, we use underwater video cameras in the northern Gulf of Mexico, and we see fireworms quite often, and they are very voracious feeders. They're not preyed on very much by the fish. We see red snapper swim up to them and look at them and then swim away. I believe they've realized what it is, and they do not want to eat it.
Understood. Very good.
Do you see them deep, Kevin?
Yeah, we see them down to 100, 150 meters. That's as far as we drop our video cameras.
Oh, okay. Well, fireworms actually, they're not poisonous, but they do have these bristles. So if you do touch them, it's kind of like getting fiberglass, touching fiberglass. So if you do have if you're allergic to them, you could have a nasty reaction. But usually it's cured within a day or so. Yeah. And there are a couple groupers together. There's one that has really nice coloration.
Siphonophore, yeah.
Siphonophore floating.
It's a good segue into mentioning how later in the expedition we're going to be doing a couple of mid-water focused dives in addition to some benthic exploration off the western end of Puerto Rico and off the northern side of the island.
So the current seems to be better. It's around from 240.
Okay.
It's like if I stop changing heading, I was kind of drift that way with the tether, but it's not bad.
Doesn't seem too strong yet. Yeah, you can snap on this guy if you wanted it.
Oh, another eel right below the grouper. seem to be common in this area.
Several of these yellow
Ready for another move?
crinoids as well on the edge of this outcrop.
I think so.
Yeah, I'm
Nav, just call the
240.
bridge.
I was just asking the pilots if they're ready for a move, and they are if you're ready.
Yes, sir.
We're going to do 30 meters, bearing 220 degrees, speed .2 knots.
Bridge copies 30 meters, bearing 220, speed .2.
Good copy. Thank you, Bridge.
What was the bearing on that?
220.
220. All right, after this one, we might have to turn more to 240.
Video, you want to
240,
zoom in
okay.
on these fish for a second? Kind of on the move, but
There's a yellow eye, characteristic of a silk snapper. As Kevin mentioned, the fishermen here call them yellow-eyed snappers.
he's hiding from us. You can come back
Nav,
out.
bridge, move initiated.
There's a sea
Thank you,
urchin.
Bridge.
Something else there, yeah. Blue and yellow coloration, moving very quickly across the screen.
I can try to grab it. Video, you want to snap on small fish?
Huh.
Very weird coloration.
Yeah.
That one is a ways away.
By the shape and movement, it looks like some type of snapper. Kevin, do you have any idea what this species could be?
There's another one.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, my video is buffering. I do not have video right now.
Ah, okay.
Could zoom out video. All right. Watch, this is your pilot speaking. Is there any of these fish you wanted me to try to zoom in on that you haven't seen a good zoom of yet, or?
I don't see anything here.
Okay.
Maybe the sponge to the left-hand side in
Yeah.
the center screen right now.
Okay.
Seems covered with yellow feather stars.
This is the bridge over.
Headed that way.
Go ahead, Bridge.
Looks like a different sponge
Yeah,
we
we were
haven't
just
seen
discussing that.
just
Thank
quite
you.
yet.
ROV nav is the only thing I'm going to highlight right now.
Hey, y'all, my video just came back. I believe what y'all were looking at with the yellow markings on the head was Antheus nicholsi. I don't remember the common name right now.
Bridge,
And there
repeat
may
your
have been a
last.
cardinal fish up underneath that in the background behind that, underneath the ledge.
Okay, video, you can come in.
Current depth is
Hold that.
around 277 meters right now. 279 meters exactly. So we haven't moved too much out of this depth range. We've been stuck in the 280 to 270 meter depth range as we traverse the top of this local promontory. So we're looking at a sponge right now.
Looks like it could be a glass sponge.
Could be, yeah.
Can you come in further, video? Yeah, see what the surface looks like. Maybe.
Oh, there's a
Can't
nice,
quite tell, yeah.
nice close-up of the crinoid.
Yep. So glass sponge or hexactinellid sponge possibly.
So these differ from demo sponges
Can
because
zoom out a
their
little bit, video.
spiculates, which are
See if there's anything else on
act
this
as their
sponge here.
muscles, are made of silica, so that what kind of pulls them apart from demo sponges.
So somebody was saying there's a fish to the left-hand side in that rock that was
Less than 5 meters left.
hiding, but I don't think he's going to be very agreeable to being photographed this time.
Yeah.
So we'll move on.
Not sure what that is. You can snap on video. Possible cephalopod. Is this where you're looking, Bob? Oh, down in the hole.
Yeah, under the rock there was something.
Ooh. I think it's a star. And a
It looked like it had a very forked looking tail. Coloration yellow and blue.
Yeah,
you
we'll
can
let
see that tail right there.
Yeah, we'll let it go. I think he's. If I see him sneak out, then I can try to get it, but try to hide.
Michelle said it could be a long-tailed jewelfish.
All right, so pilot, you're disappearing off the right side.
Copy that.
I'm about 60 degrees off the direction of orbit.
Pretty much done with the ship move.
Okay. So how do we move Sirius back to the ridge here? Definitely to starboard, right? Or
So there's another black coral whip in front of us. We don't have to zoom on that. We've seen a few of them.
Understood.
what if we split the difference, do the next move? I don't know, 250
Well,
or so.
these crinoids are confusing me a little bit because they look like corals from a distance.
255.
But no, we haven't seen many corals. There's been only a handful of stony corals, one colonial on this dive so far, and then
when you're ready, I'll
several
make it so.
different species
Ready,
of solitary cup corals.
Call it in. Yeah.
We think it's very difficult to
Bridge
tell them
nav.
apart without looking at their skeleton under a microscope.
Another
or
ship
in
move,
your hand.
please. Let's do 30 meters, bearing 255 degrees, speed decimal 2 knots.
And we've seen a number of black corals.
Good copy, thank you, Bridge.
At least one species of Chrysogorgid octocoral.
All right, Sirius heading is 255.
And a number of stylastrids. They seem to be some of the most abundant but smallest corals in the area.
There's like another small little cup coral right by the lasers.
You can snap it on. Yeah.